let's get into some shite. Hi, folks. Welcome to Apocalyptic. I am Rick. That's not a name that you could say you could do that to. Rick. There's really not a way that you could, when you have the name Rick, you can't really do like Hollywood, you know, like you just can't come out and do like Brad. No one does that. No one wants to go Rick. Sounds like you're sick or something. It's not a cool name. It's more of a sound kind of, but anyway, that's me. I'm here talking to you from Atlanta, Georgia, where it's going to be 100 degrees in a day or two. Holy mother. I just went outside today, walking my dog. I try not to go out at all. It's insane out there. It's just too hot. I do have here in my hand, which I said I wasn't going to do anymore, but I did. I've got a beer, and kind of by accident, sort of. My wife made chili a night or two ago, and she puts beer in the chili, which is great. Love it. And she sent me out to the beer fridge. She's like, "Give me a beer." So I go out to the beer fridge, and I saw this Kentucky bourbon barrel. I thought, bourbon in the chili. Holy crap, that's going to be good. So I grabbed that, and then I grabbed a regular beer, and I thought I'd let her choose. And then I came in, and I looked, and the bourbon barrel was peppermint. No one wants peppermint chili, do you? No. So here today I'm going to have, let me see if I can get the sound on. Oh, that was really bad. A peppermint porter. It's left over from the holidays, but I still think it's going to be good. Ooh, smells good. This was rated way back when we did this epic disaster. I think this was rated like high, 4.5, 5. Smells great. Here I go. I'm going to have some. Not rating it though. Oh man, it just tastes like a peppermint patty. That's too early. Makes me think of Christmas. Anyway, crack one open now. I'll wait. And, well, how are you? How are you doing? Thanks for listening to the show. You come in and you just pop in and listen. And I have to apologize. Yesterday, supposed to do a show, and this keeps happening. Just events conspire to keep me from recording a show. I don't like it. I try not to let it affect me. I'm really, really trying to get a regular schedule and not have that happen. But so far, it just continues to happen, and I apologize. At least I'm getting one out, and hopefully two. Trying to do two. But anyway, so I'm a day late. I apologize. But I have a beer, and I'll forget about it in just a few minutes. But I do thank you for listening. Here's the thing. When I'm not doing a show, I know for a fact you haven't listened to every show. You have not. Don't say you have. I know you haven't. If you have, you're the only one. So it's a good time to just go catch up. Go pick a show. I don't care if it was like last year. You know what? It's almost a year anniversary. I can't even believe I've been doing this show. So last year, when this epic disaster was over, I didn't plan on it. We didn't. Things happened. Won't go into it, but things just happened, and the show ended abruptly. I might add, quickly, and so I thought, all right, it's a good time to do Apocalyptic, and so I did, and I've been doing it every week, sometimes twice a week, since then. Pretty incredible. I think I didn't start it until like November because there were some things happen. COVID happened in my household last fall, and my mother-in-law passed away, which was not fun. And so things like that happened, and it kind of stalled the initiation, the introduction, the first show of Apocalyptic. But now we've been doing this for almost a whole year. I can't even believe 2 shows a week, mostly for a whole year. pretty impressive. So I deserve a little beer, right? It's a little early celebration, but we'll talk about that here in just a minute. I've got some ideas of what I want to do for a celebration, right? Beer, good. I read today that they're doing a Fyre Festival #2. Have you seen this? Do you know what the Fyre Festival is? All right, so I watched this documentary a year or two ago. Fyre Festival, I can't even remember where it happened. Was it California? Somewhere off California? Some island? I don't remember. But this, it was going to be a big festival, and all of the places where you stayed were going to be really, really, really expensive for people with too much money. And it's going to be really expensive, and the really expensive food, and just tons and tons and tons of bands were going to happen. And they advertised all the bands, they advertised the places, they advertised it all, and people actually bought tickets and went, and nothing happened. No one was there. There was no running water, no plumbing. And it was horrible. And all these kids with too much money spent all of their too much money and didn't get anything. And so the promoters, the people who did the whole thing, got charged. They went to prison, went to jail. All right, so the dude is out. The dude who did, I can't remember his name, he's out. And he's doing the Fyre Festival too, because the first one was so successful. Apparently they don't have a band lineup, so I guess it's fair to say the same artists are performing. I don't know if they've got a place, and I don't know if they actually have a location and food and all that stuff. It just sounds like it's coming together the same way. And if you fall for it again, if you pay thousands, and that's what people paid, maybe hundreds of thousands, I don't know, but at least thousands of dollars to go to this thing. If you do that, you deserve what you get. I don't know. I hope it goes better. I never want people to fail, but I do feel like this is not. I can't even believe they allow this guy to do another show, but he's doing it. Fyre Festival too. Something to look forward to. All right, something else to look forward to. I just read this today in Loch Ness this coming weekend. Now you might want to mark this on your calendar. This weekend they're looking for the monster, the Loch Ness Monster. And you can help, apparently. So it's a weekend. So what they're doing is they're bringing lots and lots of people into Loch Ness, and they're using technology to find the monster. So apparently they're going to, I don't know, they're going to have like underwater scope or something. I've heard it's really murky, but they're going to have stuff under there kind of scoping around, looking for the monster. They're going to have video. I don't know have you been to Loch Ness? I haven't. I don't know how big it is, how vast. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how impossible this is going to be. I feel like now you should be able to have drones just like everywhere. And I don't know why they picked this weekend. I don't know if like maybe traditionally this weekend is like the best odds of seeing the monster. I don't think anybody's seen it. I know that the most famous picture that they have of Nessie, the monster, the person who took it before he died, he admitted it was fake. So it's not looking good. I don't know, but apparently now you'll have to look this up because I couldn't find the information. But they're allowing people to help them look on the internet. So you can actually log in and I guess maybe use their video terminals or whatever to just sit there and scan the lake. Just look. You got nothing to do. Get a beer. It helps you to see the Loch Ness Monster depending on the beer. But I know that I've seen the monster a few times when I've had some beer. But you could just get a beer, sit there, and look at the lake. Maybe 24 hours. I guess they're doing it 24 hours. You could just maybe it's going to be lit up. I don't know when the monster's going to come out, or if. But just do it. You sit and watch, and then you report back to the people, just like the people who are going to be there. And there's going to be people there from all countries, tons of people for 2 days, buying things, shopping, eating at restaurants, right? You see where this is going. Yeah, they need the tourists. I don't blame them. Do it. Go for it. Have some fun. Find the freaking monster. Nobody's seen it yet. The thing that I'm kind of afraid of, so I got two predictions. Number one, no one's going to see anything, all right, because there's no monster. But I'm sorry I said it. Sorry I told you. And no Santa. I will say I don't think anybody's going to see anything, but I do think we'll get one or two new, I'm doing air quotes, sightings. I think there's going to be like a photo or two that will become legendary. That'll become, what is it? What do you see? It's awfully blurry. Every phone that exists today can take pictures just sharper than anything, and now we can't see it here. It's grainy, it's blurry. This dude's thumb was over the lens, but it kind of looked like the monster. And then we're going to have to live with that for the next 50 years. That's what's going to happen, I think. One of those two things. I kind of think nobody's going to see anything, but I don't feel like that serves the legend well. So they're going to have to make something. So they're going to make a new monster picture. I think we're going to end up having a new Loch Ness Monster picture, right? All right, we'll see if that happens. Hey, guess what? We have a listener line. That's not as hard to find as Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. All right, the number is 678-348-0008. If you're out and you see the Loch Ness Monster out where you're from, way out there in Baltimore, West Virginia, Montana, I don't know where you're from, Texas, Ohio, all the states, sometimes the monster can be seen there. Walking around. And so if you see the monster, call the listener line and let us know. I will get in touch with the people in Loch Ness and they'll send someone to do some filming, or you just film it yourself. You could send it to us. We'll take video. But you can call that line and leave an opinion, leave a note, just leave a message. Say, hi, how are you? If you're, look, Nessie, Loch Ness Monster, if you're out there and you want to call in and leave a message and let us know how you're doing, where you are, maybe where you'll be seen this weekend, go ahead. Do that. I'd love to hear from you. Or text. You could text. Some people sent me a beer through text, which is awesome. I love it. Yeah, send me anything. If you've got pictures of Shania Twain naked, no, don't send it. I've told you all, stop sending those pictures. And especially don't send those pictures of me naked that are on the internet. I don't need to see that. But the beers are fun. Send me a beer. It's great. If you just don't even want to participate, then okay, don't. Just send me an email, rick@apocalyptic.com, or just anything on Facebook or Threads. I'm on Threads. I do Threads right now until it really starts being embarrassing. But so far, it's still kind of fun. Is that it? Have I told you everything about my life? That's how you get in touch with me. And then, some of you people have known me for a long time, since way, way back in the early Kilt days. What is that, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, 15? We're old now. Jeez. You know how to get in touch with me. What else do we got to do? Here's something that I'm very fascinated by this. Am I talking too fast for you today? Let me slow down. Let me catch my breath. I'll get a little, I've got a lot to talk about, and so I'm trying to cram it into a small space. Is basically it. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to savor some Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter beer, established 1999, which doesn't seem that impressive. It wasn't that long ago. But you know what? In 100 years, that's going to sound really, really good. And I hope they still have it. I'm going to have some right now. Here I go. They say you're not supposed to have dead air on the podcast, and I apologize. I did if you don't know, I do have another podcast, sort of. It's a video podcast. It's called The Barnwood Monk. I did one of those today. I released it. Go to the YouTube channel, Barnwood Monk. YouTube channel URLs are weird, so just look it up. And there are a few there. And I think today to me is just one of the more approachable ones. That's why I'm mentioning it. Also, I have nothing else really going for me in life right now. I'm unemployed. I don't have an art gallery anymore. And I'm wasting away. But you know what? When I find Nessie, I'm going to have lots of money. So speaking of money, I feel like this is a great job to have. So, I watch a lot of ID channel. You probably do too, right? I know you do. Here's what I know, and you know this as well. There are experts, not experts aren't crazy, but they're experts in crazy things. Right? Some of it's kind of, you understand, but they're like footprint experts. Their entire job is to know footprints. Okay? It sounds weird, but in some ways, I would kind of like to do it. You could identify a shoe just by the print. And there are people who do the same with tires. And I think, shoes are just tires for human beings, right? So it's the same thing. You can look at the tire tracks and go, well, that's a Michelin 460 X12. I just made that up. Don't look it up. But so those are kind of cool. You could be an expert on tire tracks. You could be an expert on shoe tracks. Paint experts. This is kind of fast because I do a lot of painting, but there are experts that are, I find now, people who find little chips of paint in a van when someone has been killed, and they know what that paint is. They look it up. They're like, that's Krylon. That's a Krylon lime green right there. It comes in a really small can. You can only buy it at Bob's Hardware in Minneapolis. They know this. They're paint experts. It'd be kind of cool but think about it though. Your entire job is just looking at paint chips. I wonder if they know what it tastes like. They have to if they're an expert. You can't be an expert. Like you can't be an expert on anything if you haven't really kind of like tested it all out, right? What does this say? Oh, what? I have no idea what I wrote down. I have absolutely no idea what I wrote down. Oh, okay. I saw it. I can't read my wife's handwriting, and I'm always giving her crap. And I have pretty good handwriting. I used to letter for comic strips and comic books, so I could. But I wrote down, and I could not read what I wrote. And I hope she doesn't listen to this because she's going to give me a lot of crap for it. But what I found out today I didn't know is there are garment experts. So here's what happened. This guy robbed a bank and he was wearing a shirt, a certain type of plaid shirt. And they took it to a garment. They found a shirt that looked exactly like it in a suspect's apartment. So they took the garment shirt to a garment expert. And he was able to identify using lots of techniques. And he could say for fact that it was the exact same shirt. I love that. But I also want to know what other experts that we do not know about are out there. Because they exist. If there's somebody commits a murder, there's going to be like a raccoon expert. It's not that unusual. There are raccoon experts. But they're experts on, what else would there be? Anything that you can imagine, there's going to be experts for that very same thing. And I just think that's fascinating. And I just wonder if they have like a convention where they get all the experts together and they're just, they're like, what do you do? And the guy's just like, oh, well, I'm an underwear expert, but only dirty underwear expert. I can tell you everything about dirty underwear that you want to know. What do you do? And somebody's like, I just do tire tracks. And they're like, oh, man, really? Yeah, okay, that's not exciting. So I just feel like you could get everybody together and people are dancing, they're having a good time, and they're, get the experts together. I don't know why I mentioned it. I'm just fascinated by it. I just think anytime that you have a crime where something's happening, like they found a royal crown. A royal crown was left behind. There's going to be somebody who knows everything about royal crowns, and they're going to be able to tell you everything. And I'm like, well, that has 12 points, so that's a special kind of crown. And they're going to give you all the information about it and the jewels and everything. Everybody knows. There's probably an expert on Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter beer. I'm not an expert, but I'm trying right now to enjoy it. All right. Garment experts. I'm going to slow down just for a second. 100 degrees. 100 degrees in Atlanta this week. It's going to be terrible. So here's what's going to be great, though. I believe the 100 degrees comes Friday and Saturday. And then Nessie happens. Somebody sees Nessie, and then the temperature drops. So all next week it starts dropping. Do you realize you know it's almost Labor Day? Okay, so that just means because it's almost Labor Day, we're almost at the holiday season. Can you believe that? The holiday season. We're almost there. Summer is over. 2023 shutting down. It's almost time for Hallmark Christmas movies. Halloween starts very soon. Speaking of Halloween, I should mention to you, I want to do something for Halloween, and I don't know what I want to do. All right, so you know the history of my podcasts, the podcast that I've been a part of in the past, where we did stories, Halloween stories. I love that idea. I kind of want to do it again, but here's the problem. Number one, I don't have any listeners. Nobody listens to my show. All right? So that's a problem right there. No one listening to the show. Number two, on the off chance that there is someone who might occasionally listen to the show, I don't think there's enough people to write a story. Okay? So that's probably not the greatest choice, but it's my favorite choice. So what I'm kind of thinking at this point is, if I could start now, I'm going to try to maybe write some stories myself. And if you want to get involved, I'm asking you please to get involved. Write some stories. I don't have a name for it. I don't know what I'm going to, just short stories, scary short stories. You know what I'm saying? It could be a couple minutes long. I don't care. It could be 30 minutes long. I don't care. I'm going to try to do it though. Contact me, please, if you're interested in doing it. So I know, because I might just decide I'm not going to do it, and I don't want you writing something and then we don't do it. But I got to do something for Halloween. Last year, the show didn't kick in until after Halloween. So I believe it was like the week after. And so this year I want to celebrate Halloween. We'll kind of do a Halloween, and we will celebrate the anniversary, first anniversary of the show. So at this point, I'm going to say maybe we do some stories. I don't care. Poetry. Let's just do some writing. How about that? Let's do a little bit of writing. But let's do, let's make it fun. Let's celebrate. And then, I don't know. Am I going to be embarrassed if we do a Zoom? If I say let's do a Zoom and then no one calls in and no one shows up for the Zoom, I know we've done some Zooms in the past that have been okay. They've done all right. We had a few people show up. But I just feel like now with the show, no, I'm going to have no one. And that'll be really embarrassing. I'll cry for the whole weekend. But no, let's, maybe we'll just talk about it. Maybe we'll do a Zoom, possibly a Zoom. But I would like to do something. What I would really have to do is a live event. We have like a table. Let's get a table somewhere. We all kind of get together, have a beer, we just chat, have a good time, have some food, share some fries, and then go home. Well, maybe go look for Nessie. Because it's still going to be. No, I think they'll find Nessie by then. Okay. Anyway, think about all of the things. If you have suggestions, something really amazing, something really interesting, maybe we do a show and tell. You could share your gifts. You know, if you have something that you've done and you paint a picture, you write a song, you wrote a poem, you wrote a story, you dress up in a special garment that needs to be interpreted by a garment expert. We can have them shipped in. We can do that. But yeah, let's think about it. I'm open to suggestions. If you want to call me 678-348-0008. If you want to, you could do that. But Halloween, it's coming. I love, you know how much I love Halloween. Maybe I'll send you some candy. That would be a good thing too. Okay. One more thing I want to talk about. I kind of feel like I talked about something like this before, but I can't say for sure. It's similar to something I talked about. And that is the question I have for you is, can you identify the biggest mistake you made in your life? Like the mistake that kind of changed the course of your life. All right. I feel like we did something similar to that. I don't know if it was framed as a mistake. I think it was just something, a choice you made in your life that changed your life. But I want to say the mistake. So let's say can you look back on your life and go, that's the one thing I should have done. I don't know if it's going to Paris, marrying Valerie Bertinelli. That was my mistake. I should have done it. I really hope my wife doesn't listen to this. All right. No, just kidding. Just kidding, Valerie. Don't write in. Don't get a protective order. No. So what do you see in your life as the biggest mistake? Because I was thinking about it. We all have that. There's something we could look back on and go, oh man, I would do that different. I've been in a lot of relationships. I've had too many marriages, and it's easy when you're going through those is to go, no, if that's a mistake, I wouldn't do that again. But then you look at it and go, well, all of those things made me who I am today. So I wouldn't change that. And I had that attitude for a long, long time, but I'm kind of at the point now where I feel like, you know what? Maybe I wouldn't. Why would I waste time on that? I know relationships are great. They do help you to become the people that you are, but sometimes they're just big headaches. They're a big pain in the ass. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes I think maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe that relationship was a mistake. I mean, I don't think that I could go back at a young age and meet my wife, my current wife, when we were in our 20s. I don't think it would have worked. For either of us. Certainly not me. I was a jerk. Not a jerk. I don't know. I shouldn't be in relationships. And if you don't believe me, ask any of my first wives. It's true. I shouldn't have. I grew up. I'm a much better person now. So I don't know, but I still feel like why put yourself through that pain? Why put yourself through all of that relationship crap? But I don't know. It could go either way. And maybe yours is a relationship. Maybe it's a job. You should have taken a job. You didn't take that job. And if you had, it would change your life. You didn't make that move. You didn't move to that place in the world. If you had, you wouldn't be where you are now. Maybe you would. Maybe you'd be dead. Maybe you'd be something else. I don't know. You change history. You change the future. So I really don't know. But here's what I think, and I've thought a lot about this, and I try not to think too much about it because I don't want to have regrets, and you can't go back. This is stupid. You just can't go back and undo things. You are where you are. Okay. If you get another opportunity, if there is reincarnation, if you do get to come back, okay, make that choice again. But you can't change it. At my age, I can't change it. But I think... And the reason I'm saying this is almost as sort of like a recommendation to younger people. It's like, this is what I would do. This is what if I had a child, I don't have a child. If I had a kid, this is what I would push my kid. And I wouldn't push him in a lot of ways, but this is one thing that I think I would really push a child. And that would be to master a musical instrument of some sort. And that's, I think, what I would do. And it would be one of two things. It would be upright bass, which I loved. Didn't know how much I loved it. Even though I sold it, loved it. So I would either master that, upright bass, double bass, whatever you want to call it, or piano, one of the two, or both. I would master that. And I would master at a very young age. I took piano in college, but I just kind of goofed around with it. I didn't think I was going to be a career. And I realized it was going to take way too much work, and so I just checked out. I was like, I can't do this. I don't have that time. But that's what I would do. I think that would change the course of my life, and for the better in a lot of ways. You could be a songwriter. You could be a performer. You could go anywhere, be at any almost location. You could play piano in theatrical performances. You could play piano just as in a jazz bar. You could play piano in a jazz quartet. You could play piano in a rock band. Anywhere, country. Think about it, piano, man. You're just having a party, and people just like, let's play some music, and you can get up and play. Piano I don't know, my hands might at my age freeze up, and I can't do it now. But I think so. You'd build up those muscles. So that's what I would do. And I recommend that to young people. It's not too late. Any instrument, I don't care. I could still, I think, do any of the, not piano. I think I could do double bass, but I played trombone for a while. I should have kept it going because you could play trombone now in a rock band. You could, in a jazz band even bluegrass. It's much more flexible. Back then, I just saw it as being too confining. So think about it. Pick up an instrument. Start now. It's not too late. Strum a guitar. What else could you play? Anything. Saxophone. Banjo. Taylor Swift plays the freaking banjo. It's gotten respect now. It used to be kind of a joke instrument. Steve Martin, I think, made it. People look at it and go, okay, it's kind of cool. But it's now flexible. I mean, you got Bela Fleck who can play it, and it plays it in a jazz band. Just pick up something, have fun, master it. You could go out. You could still be a banker. You could still be a doctor. You could still be an attorney. You could still be a plumber. You could still be anything that you want, and just be a master of your musical instrument. Right? I think so. All right, that's all I got to say. Really. I think that I could go on for a long time, but I don't think you want me to, right? You don't want me to, right? Okay. I'm going to shut up. Enjoy my beer. Thank you for listening, people. I'm glad I got to do a Monday show on Tuesday. We'll try again on Thursday. See ya!